Look, good afternoon and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Westwood from Alexander & Simon. Chris has already spoken about. 2 months ago, Chris asked me whether I wanted to give a presentation, which I said yes, because he was twisting my arm pretty strongly behind my back. He asked me to speak about surveying, but he did challenge me by asking me to make sure that my presentation was exciting. So, as best as possible, I'll try and make surveying exciting. It's exciting to me, but not necessarily to everybody. So, here goes. I'll start by telling you what we don't do, and we don't do this type of survey. Okay? We don't ring up the lifeline and try and collect information from you. That's not the sort of surveying we do. Okay? There's 4 main types of surveying that's generally undertaken. Sorry. What surveying is and what surveying we do. Surveying is the measuring and recording of the landscape or an object, hopefully with some very strong WHS parameters around it. Obviously the guy on the left-hand side is not following those. But as a bit of a reference, what you see on the right-hand side is the fabrication of the roof structure for the southern stand of the site. Okay, so we work extensively on making sure that was being built and created to the right shape and design. So there's 4 main types of surveying I'm going to cover. First one is aerial surveying. That's done with, obviously involves planes. It involves very expensive cameras. The cameras in those planes are worth at least $1 million, probably closer to $2 million. Very sophisticated software, and what that type of surveying produces is aerial maps, topographic maps, and 3-dimensional models of the landscape. So if anybody that uses Google Maps, that's how that information is created. Okay? The next form of surveying that's generally used or available is hydrographic surveying, and Rob and I were having a quick conversation about that previously. This differs from aerial surveying. Aerial surveying is done over the land. Obviously, hydrographic surveying is done in the water. So this is done through harbours, out in the ocean and in riverbeds. And much of that information is collected so that they can determine what the shape and the form of the seabed is. Very important in harbours to make sure that the ships and the navigation channels are clear. But out in the ocean, it's about putting in the cables that connect our country, all the countries together from a communications point of view. It's about connecting Tasmania to the mainland from a power point of view. And it's about doing things like looking for lost objects. So you would have seen in the press in recent times a lot of money and time has been spent trying to find MH370. So this is the process that they use to try and map the seabed and try and find anomalies that look like a plane, basically. Alright. The next form of survey work is boundary survey work, and that's predominantly the type of work that our business does. It's about 50% of what our business does. And that is about establishing existing boundaries, creating new boundaries, and looking after and adding to what's known as the state's cadastre. Now the cadastre is like a register. It's a register of your interests or a company's interest in land, but it's also a spatial framework that allows the boundaries of your title to be re-established at any point in time. So you have basically a book, which is the interest that you have in the land, like your ownership, whether you've got a mortgage, whether you've got an easement on the land or any rights of way. So that's the register, and the spatial framework of all the plans that the surveyors look after and create. One of the beauties and the strengths of this country is that we have a cadastral system that is guaranteed by the government. So anything that is done in that system, there is a government guarantee. What that provides with that government guarantee is a lot of stability to the banking sector, because the banks know that the government guarantees whatever's being done on the land in the cadastre. So a lot of countries don't have this sort of system. And instead of having this sort of system, they have like what they call title insurance, or they just don't have any formal system. It's basically a handshake system, and that doesn't allow the banks to be able to redefine where your land is and then register a mortgage against it. So part of the reason we did so well through the global financial crisis was purely because the banks had a cadastral system that was guaranteed by the government that they sat on top of. Now, the other form of surveying, which is probably the most widely used type of surveying, or sort of surveying that you will see the most of, is infrastructure surveying. And that's about collecting and setting up 3D position of objects. So in that sort of surveying, we go and collect information, one point at a time, about the form of the land, and then we give that information to people like Chris in your former life, give it to engineers and architects. They then design whatever is meant to be designed, and then Chris or architects give back that information to us, and then we go and set it out one point at a time. Okay? The other two types of surveying that I've shown you before, the aerial surveying, that process they capture millions of points of information very quickly, and hence they end up with large data sets, a large amount of computing power. Hydrographic surveying, same principle. Lots of data sets, lots of points being collected very quickly. Get to boundary surveying, one point at a time. Everything we do, we collect one piece of information at a time. It's time consuming, and we don't get through a lot of work very quickly. Same with infrastructure surveying. You're going and collecting, or trying to locate where a piece of curb is, or a power line, or a power pole. You've got to go one piece of information at a time. Now, about 10 years ago, some of the technology that existed in this aerial surveying space, in this hydrographic space, started to become, people started to say, how do we use this technology in spaces like the boundary surveying space and the infrastructure space? How do we start using it there? Because we want to move ourselves from collecting one point of information at a time to lots of points of information at a time. So, we transitioned about 10 years ago into some new technology, laser scanning technology. Okay? And it was predominantly used or developed in the oil and gas sector, because what the oil and gas sector had was large sections of equipment and plant, but they had no information about it. They had no drawings. Chris didn't put his drawings of his plant away properly. He just threw them away or whatever he did with it. But fundamentally, we didn't have the information. And for an organisation like ours, if we got asked by, say, BHP, we need you to survey this, and if they asked me that question 15 years ago, I would have said, go away, too hard. But 10 years ago, this laser scanning technology came into being. And so what you see here is a model of some work that we've done for BHP after the Olympic Dam. Now, if we try to survey that one point at a time, we would have been there for about 18 months or 2 years to try and create something like that. But this laser scanning technology, which is driven by that piece of kit that you see over there, okay, it's as simple as that. It costs about $150,000 at the moment for that sort of kit. But we've been able to survey the complexity of that in the field. It took us 1 week, and in the office it took us 3 weeks. And we've given that information to BHP, and they've gone, wow. Okay? Because what you see there is spatially correct to the nearest 5 millimetres for everything that's there. Okay? Every piece of equipment, every nut, every bolt, every washer, every tap, every flange, every bit of pipe, spatially correct to within about 5 millimetres. Now, Franco, have you got started up? We're going to, this is later. We're going to introduce this scanning right now. So, Franco, via his phone, has just fired up that piece of equipment to scan. You can hear it going. Alright. We can't see anything happening, but it is actually scanning this room. Okay? So the results of that are coming through from Franco's phone. That's where the technology is with us already. Okay? So I'm going to Franco will walk around and actually show you the results of that scanning that's undertaken in this room right now. So, as a challenge, we are asked to survey something like this. If you try and survey at one point at a time, very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. We get technology like this laser scanner, and it starts to create exactly that immediately. So how does it do that? That thing is basically just a very, very sophisticated laser, and it pulses out a laser beam. That laser hits the surface and reflects the laser back to that piece of equipment. And by doing that, it's worked out the X, Y and Z position of where the laser hit the surface. But at the same time, as it collects information about the position of the dot on the surface, it collects the RGB details, that's the colour, and a reflectivity index. Okay? So what you see there is a scan of inside of part of the Adelaide Casino, and that is directly the information downloaded straight out of the machine. That's what it looks like. Okay? So it's almost like a photograph of what's there, but it's completely and utterly spatially correct. And over on the left-hand side, if you go into the computer information behind it, it's just a whole lot of X, Y and Z coordinates and information about the reflectivity of the surface and the colour of the surface. Now what we can't scan is water. It doesn't want to scan water, but I'm sure that over time they'll work out how to do that. And it doesn't like scanning black, but anything else, any other surface, we can scan. So in this situation here, you've got gyprock ceilings, you've got glass, you've got metal, you've got plants. Whatever's there, as long as there's a surface with a laser hit, we can collect the information. Here's a little bit of scan that we did on the Adelaide Town Hall. There's a lot of applications for this type of work from a historical records point of view, because we collect the information, but we collect it at a point in time. The time the scan is done, that's the point in time we've got the information. And you can interrogate this information because it's a computer model. So although you can't see it here, this scan is made up of millions and millions and millions of dots. It's called a point cloud, and every one of those dots has a piece of information about it. So over here, although you might not be able to see it, is the X, Y and Z coordinate of whatever dot that is there. Now, the intensity or the level of detail that we can collect through this process was quite remarkably shown and brought to my attention by Frank who did this. If you can see these little bits of discoloration here, we wondered what they were. We went out and had a bit of investigation. They're actually the cobwebs that are up there on the surface. Okay? So what we actually have to do with some people when they ask us to use this technology to work for is they need to clean the surfaces up, because we end up collecting information about pigeon shit and everything else. So there is a strong demand for this type of technology from a heritage point of view. We actually get quite a lot of requests for work from a heritage point of view, because anybody that's done any work on a heritage building knows that one of the first things that Heritage SA require is some sort of historical survey to be done of the actual form. And that normally means building scaffolding and people sitting there with measuring tapes and rulers and measuring it all up. We can go and survey the whole facade of the building in an hour. It might take the heritage surveyor 3 weeks, and it's all over in an hour. And we've got a better record of what's actually going on. So, as I've said, this is the scanning technology. The scanner sends out between 300,000 and 1 million points per second. So, it's an enormous amount of information we collect. This is the side of the This is the side of the Adelaide Casino. There's only about a day and a half's worth of work to create that sort of model. One of the things that I've probably alluded to is that where the scanner can't see, you can't collect information. So we are in our boardroom here scanning the chairs, the mat, the door, the walls, what have you. But if you move into the model, because there's shadows behind the chairs, there's no information. And this is where the skills of the surveyor need to come in, because taking one scan gives you the information that the scanner's seen. But if you go back to the original picture that I showed you with that plant at BHP, it's probably about 150 scans to do that work. And the skill has been able to put a jigsaw puzzle together and maintain the integrity of the information. information so that you know that it's correct when there is a few words. And that's where the real skills are of people like Frank. So here's a scan we did for the Royal Hotel, Hackney Road, North Terrace Quarter. Main reason we're doing that work is because the Thebarton extension's happening at the moment. That building's got, got no foundations. They want to make sure the building's not moving. So, these triangles here show you where the scans were taken from that allow you to create a model like this. And once again, I'll just get back to the points of detail when we get to, if you look carefully, you can see the power lines being scanned through here. So, as I've alluded to, the role of the surveyor is not about the scan itself, it's about putting that information together and creating a relevant model that you can give over to someone so they can use. People like Chris in his former life. Okay, so in this case here, we were actually asked to scan this gorge here. It's part of the dam network in South Australia. We're worried about the erosion in that gorge. We said the easiest and simplest and safest way to do that is to scan it. So here it is, it's done today. In 6 months' time, we'll go back and scan it again, and I'll be able to work out how much it's changed. This scan here gives you an idea of the level of detail that we can collect. So you can see the valves here, the nuts. You can interrogate this information and work out the size of the bolts, the size of the washers. If you scan it well enough, you can almost see the thread on the nuts and the bolts. Engineers love this sort of detail. There's two sort of main types of scanning methods. One is just a raw scan that comes out of the machine, which has got very little information about the colour. But this here is a heritage building on North Terrace, and that is the information direct out of the scan. So it's as good as a photograph, basically. Just to give you a quick idea about the size of the data files that we're dealing with, this is the scan for the Adelaide Convention Centre. We're doing a work for that expansion for that. You can see over there that there's 57 gigabytes worth of data in that scan. Once we put in the software that we use, the Cyclone software, it's 78 gigabytes. But by the time we've put this model together and then put surfaces in it, it's back down to about 120 megabytes, which is something that people can use. If we give people files of 78 gigabytes in size, you can't do anything with them, right? They're too cumbersome. But certainly when they're of the size of 120 megabytes here, they're very much usable. So the products that we create, that's the scan information. We model that, so we basically take all the millions of dots and we put surfaces on those dots and we create these sorts of models. So part of the way we do that is through this software here called TrueView, and this is software that actually allows us to interrogate the model and actually draw real information out of the model straight off the model. So we have, if you do it in metre, if you do it in millimetre, how high that wall is, what the elevation of that point is. From a surveying point of view and a data collection, that's what we do for a living. To be able to interrogate that sort of quality data very quickly is very, very exciting for people like us. This is one of the ways in which we interrogate and create more usable information. You can see that's the scan information behind it, and then when the people sit down and draw the lines around the windows, the architraves, the doors, the posts, the roofs, the chimneys. It's basically a tracing exercise. But one of the ways in which we go about doing that is we use standard files as to what a door frame looks like and what a pipe might be, and you best fit that information into the model. So there's sort of the different products that we create. So we've gone from the scan of the GPO here to actually creating a model for the GPO. And like I said before, that's actually a scan just building on North Terrace. And this is sort of framework, and that's the actual finished product, and actually all the faces and all the corners here. And that doesn't keep pitch and shit on. Once again, inside the casino, this is the level of detail that we create, the models that we create for people. So it's down to the level of light fittings, cornices, and what have you. A bit of an idea from how much detail is required. So from a scanning point of view, it's taken us a day to model up that part of the Adelaide Central market, but it's taken us about 2 days to create that much You can see the level of detail without giving you all that work on this boundary straight here. A lot of work involved in that. This is the Royal Hotel, and us trying to work out how much is moved by the vibrations from all the piling work that they're doing. So we've done a scan before, and a scan after, and the different colours in this one here show on this scale how much to do it's moved. It's not actually not the best indications of what's been moving. This thing's got a tin roof on it. When it heats up during the day, the roof moves, and we've basically picked up the roof's moved because the roof's hotter than what it was when we stand there. I'll just pass that one. So this is the back end of the Rivertimes end of the casino building. And I've just got a little montage showing of the processes that we go through to create that end product. So hopefully this works. So this is the scanning. That's what it looks like. Then we go through a process of creating like a wire frame of what it looks like. Then we start rendering it and putting surfaces on it. And then we start rendering the face of the building and putting all the shadow effects or whatever you want. And that's the finished product that we sent to the architects. Alright. Anybody got? Thank you. Anybody got? Go away. I'm not going. Phil. Just wait for the mic.
I understand that the world's or Australia's moved 7 centimetres recently, and I'd like to know how that affects your surveys. And the other question is, I understand the government's contemplating selling land titles. Other than they're an instrument that can put up their fees as much as they like and make a profit, what's in it for South Australians if they do?
Two very, very good questions. Yes, the world has moved 7.5 centimetres in the last year. How that affects you and I, it doesn't. That's at a level of detail that the general public and the general people just don't need to worry about at all. And it's fundamentally, the whole world has moved. The tectonic plate that this country sits on has moved a little bit. So it's all relative, so it doesn't actually matter for the survey work that we do on a daily basis. It's more of a concern for the people that are dealing with the satellite survey work, because that takes a complete picture of the Earth rather than just the tectonic plate that we sit on. The commercialisation of the LTO, that's been keeping me awake quite a bit over the last couple of months. What's in it for South Australia? Well, the bucket of money for the Treasurer to spend on whatever he decides to spend it on. What are we going to get out of it? Probably not a lot, other than that bucket of money. Okay? So fundamentally, the government's going to take away the churn that they do inside the public service and give that to a private operator. I think the opportunity for the private operator is that he's going to have access to a lot more information, and they'll be able to leverage that information and do a lot more weird and wonderful things with it, and commercialise a lot more products. But fundamentally, the state's going to get $300 or $400 million as an injection into the Treasurer's budget over a short period of time.
John.
I was thinking about aerial surveying. Are there any advantages in using unmanned aerial vehicles to that?
There are advantages in using UAVs, and a lot of the providers of aerial surveying in this country, which there's only probably 6, they do have some, they do use UAVs occasionally, but the problem with UAVs is you can't put a decent payload on them, so you can't get very good cameras onto them, and they move around too much. A lot of the stuff you see in the aerial surveying space, we've been able to use that technology to create information that's correct to sort of 2 or 3 centimetres, and that's only because you've got very, very good cameras and very stable planes that they use to take the photography with. If you've got a UAV, it moves around a lot, and you just cannot get the level of, even though the picture looks really good, the accuracy of the information is not good. So a UAV, and we've done some trials just recently, and we're getting discrepancies of 20, 30 or 40 centimetres. where they claim they've got 2 or 3, but it's really at 20 or 30 centimetre mark, and that's just not good enough for the type of survey work.
Ron.
The government is obviously giving us the feasibility to type under the Torrens system.
Yes.
When they hand over the LTO, or hand it over to the private enterprise, if that would have happened, and you're saying it keeps you awake at night, what happens over a period of time with that guarantee? Do you see that being taken away?
No, not at all. The indefeasibility of title is enshrined in legislation. These both houses of Parliament have changed that. I just cannot see any government looking at that as an issue or seriously contemplating that. I mean, the banking sector would crucify the government immediately. I think, to put it in perspective, the value of the land in this country is about 10 times the value of the stock market in this country. And so, anybody that plays with that, have to beware. Okay? So, the indefeasibility title is not on the table, and the Treasurer told me that into my face. It's not up for sale at all. It's purely just that the government trying to downsize its responsibility from an employee point of view and give somebody the opportunity to commercialise the data that goes through the titles office every day. I mean, in this state there's about 40,000 transactions that happen every year. About 4,000 of those transactions involve survey, 36 involve change of ownership, registration of interest. And they're very simple transactions that the government's basically looking for somebody to come and take the processing of that and speed it up and make it into a better commercial venture for them.
Okay, thank you, Glenn.